Hello everyone, my name is Anshas Togi and my topic is Introduction to Vectors, and my roll number is 14935. Okay, so yeah, let's start. So vectors are similar, are very similar to dynamic arrays, but they have the ability to resize them. Yeah, they have the ability to resize them. That is, ability to resize them whenever an element is inserted or removed. Okay, yeah. For using vectors, vector is a new feature in C++ 14th version. Okay, so for starting vectors, and in this tutorial we gonna see three different functions of vectors. Uh, there are many others, but I'm gonna take three, that is front function, back function, and size function. Okay, yeah. So for example, let us try a code how to start them. Firstly, just include the IO stream, and for using vector you are need to include the vector header file as well. Include vector. Okay, yeah, and then using namespace std. Okay, and after that yeah, let's start int main function. Okay, for using vectors we have to write vector. It shows that we are defining a vector. Then in the angular brackets we have to define its type. For example, I am taking int and then the name of the vector. Now for example, let us consider it item. Okay, since I told you it is like a dynamic, similar to dynamic array, we can also give it values here also, and we can push the values like in a similar way when we do in a stack. Okay, for example, I give it two values, 10 or 20. Okay, then semicolon. Now I want to add another value, for example, like item. Yeah, there are many two other functions as well for pushing values, that is push underscore back function, in which you mention the value here, then pop underscore back function, in which you pass the value you want to pop, and pop means deleting and pushing means inserting. Okay, so yeah, here item and push underscore back, let I am pushing 30. So now this so the main thing which makes it different from arrays, that when I push 30, the size is automatically increased from 2 elements to 3 elements. Now the size will be 3 here. Okay, and for example, if I push another element here, for example, item dot push underscore back 40. Okay, so now the size will automatically increase to 40. But if I pop a value, like I pop it, or we can simply use it pop function without any value. We can simply use pop without value. It will delete the last element. Okay, if we use simple pop function, it will simply reduce the size. It will simply reduce the size from 4 to 3. That is the main advantage of using vectors. Okay, and for example, if I want to see the size, like if I do it here, that is item dot size function. If I call it here, it will return 3, because now we have three elements in our vector, that is 10, 20 and 30. Okay, these three only, because we popped the 41 which we pushed earlier. Okay, and if I want to see what was the last element, item, so we can if we can print the elements as we do similarly like array, that is item dot size function minus 1. It will print the last element, that is 30 in our case. And we can easily access any element through the index, like for 0 it will return 10 and so on, and then return 0. So I hope that in this video you get a proper overview of how vectors work, and also if we see, there are two other functions as well. If I want to print the first element of my vector, like I print item dot front function, if I call it, it will print 10, because 10 is the first element. And similarly, if I write cout item dot back, it will print 30, that is the last element. So that is how vectors work. Okay, so I hope that you get a clear overview of how vector work. We will see implementing it on the screen as well, uh, which is next. Let's see how vector work in a proper compiler. Yeah, see. So yeah, I have written the same code as earlier. Uh, we have included the header files, namespace, and we have defined items vector with the data type int, and initialize with two elements. Then we pushed another element, that is 30. Now the size is 3. Now the size of our vector is 3. And then I pushed another element, that is 40. Now the size of our vector is 4, because we pushed 40 here. And now if I type this items size minus 1, now I am giving this index, that is now the size is 4, and minus 1 is 3. So the element are accessed here in a similar manner as we did in arrays. So it will print the item 3, that is the last element. So it will print, if we run it, the code, it will print 40. Okay, now see, we are popping 40. Now the size will reduce to from 4 to 3. Okay, now if we print the size of the item, then it will print 3. Okay, yeah. And after that, if we print the last element, so now the size is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. Item 2 is 30. It will print 30. Okay, and similarly, we used front and back functions earlier. So if I print if I see out items dot front, then it will print the first element 10. And if I see out item dot back function, it will print the last element. So I hope you get a clear overview in this video, and here I end my assignment with the topic introduction of vectors. My name is Anshas Togi, and my college roll number is 14935. Thank you.